So I have a confession, which is that I have become more than slightly obsessed with the Amazon reviews for my book. I decided I'd love to have 100 or so by Christmas so that other people would know about it and feel confident investing in it. And if you've had a newsletter from me recently, I will have asked you to consider writing one. In the background, behind the scenes, I have been hitting on the refresh button of my browser much more than I would like to admit. More significantly, I haven't been as happy and joyful as I am used to being in the last 10 or 15 years. So I've been thinking a lot about how I value myself as the book moves from its being written phase into going out into the world and seeing how it will do. And I wondered if you might resonate with some of what I'm sharing. There's someone in my book who had a similar problem, and he held the belief that his value in life was wrapped up in how much he earned. So I'll just read a paragraph or two about how he used Needs Understanding to look at that, the book, in case you haven't seen it already. Page 72. He realised he was having judgmental thoughts about how he should be living his life. He noticed that they were linked to a fingerprint need from childhood, when he didn't experience feeling valued for who he was, but for what he achieved. As an adult, he veered between trying to suppress his belief by rebelling against the system and earning very little, and submitting to it by working long hours to fill up his bank account. Neither approach gave him the feeling of being worthwhile that he longed for. That's the sentence that gets me every time. Now he's starting to take responsibility for finding his own sense of value separately from his salary, and at the same time to look for work that reflects his inner purpose, but that still pays him enough to live the life he wants. What I find particularly interesting for me as the author of that piece is that it is the one story in the book that I always have to go back to in order to be able to recount it. I forget the point of it. I have to read it twice to make sense of it. And I think that that is no coincidence, because it is something I have known for a while that I need to do some work around, and that's just been really thrown into sharp relief by the circumstances I find myself in with this book and the vulnerability of putting myself out into the world in a new way. I have a close friend who shares both a birthday and some psychology with me, so I rang her last week to say I was thinking it would be a perfect way to celebrate our 50th to go and do a residential workshop together around some of this stuff. And she told me she was thinking more along the lines of our going out and getting drunk together. So either way, hopefully I will come to have some more enlightenment around this. But seriously, for me, there's a real clarity that that whilst we wrap up our value in our earnings, our career ladder, our children's good behaviour, whatever external thing it is, we are on a hiding to unhappiness and also lack of effectiveness in the world. I hope you've got something from this video.